It was early morning and you were sleeping peacefully wrapped in the warmth of your blanket. The world outside was still waking up, but your peaceful slumber was rudely interrupted by the annoying buzz. Buzz, buzz. You groaned and blindly reached for your phone on the nightstand, squinting at the screen. Unknown number cut the call and turned to the other side, trying to drift back into sleep. Buzz, buzz. Your phone started vibrating again, then again. Within minutes, you had almost 10 missed calls. Frustrated, you finally picked up the call on the 11th ring. And finally, why aren't you picking up my call? Gia, seriously? It's early morning and you're disturbing my sleep. Early morning? Why? Do you even know what time it is? She asked, clearly exasperated. Of course not. It's 8:30. Your eyes shot open in horror. What? You jumped out of bed. Oh my god, I'm late for work. Yeah, whatever. Listen, tonight we are meeting our high school friends. I'll send you the address. You better be there. Okay, I'll call you later. I need to get ready now. You hurriedly said before hanging up. You rushed into the bathroom, quickly freshening up and throwing on your work attire. You barely had time to fix your hair, so you just grabbed an apple from the kitchen and ran towards the door. Won't you eat breakfast? Your mother asked as she saw you rushing out. I'll eat in the office, you called out, already booking a cab on your phone. Minutes later, you were seated inside the cab, nervously biting your nails. You were working as a data scientist at John Group of Industries. The CEO, John Jungkook, was a mysterious figure. No one had ever seen him except for board members. He never gave interview, and not a single picture of him was available anywhere. All anyone knew was that he was strict and ruthless. And he had one strict rule: if you were late, you'd be lose a day's salary. By the time you reached the office, you were running towards the biometric scanner, but as soon as you checked your bag, panic set in. No, you muttered. Where is it? Your ID card was missing. You sighed frustratingly, knowing what this meant. You had to go to your manager and request a salary deduction. Dragging your feet, you went to his office. Sir, I forget my ID card today, so I go to the CEO's secretary. Your manager interrupted. Only she can handle salary deductions. Your heart sank. The CEO's floor. That was forbidden territory for employees like you, but you had no choice now. Taking a deep breath, you made your way to the top floor. As soon as you reached the secretary, Miss Ria stepped out of an office. She eyed you suspiciously. What are you doing here? Miss Ria, I forgot my ID card and my manager sent me here for the salary deduction process. You explained nervously. There is no possibility of reversing salary deductions, she said firmly. You pleaded, please, I just need a chance to explain. Before you could finish, a deep commanding voice came from inside the CEO's office. What's happening, Miss Ria? Ria froze. She had forgotten to close the door. Nothing, sir, I can handle it, she quickly said, trying to shut the door. But you, being your impulsive self, blurted out, Mr. Jungkook, can I talk to you, please? Silence. Ria gasped and whispered harshly, are you mad? Do you even know who you are talking to? Before she could school you further, Jungkook's voice came again. Let her in. Your heart pounded. You slowly stepped into the office, feeling an icy chill run down your spine. The room was massive, luxurious, yet minimalistic. A dark leather chair faced the window, and the man sitting in it had his back turned to you. You swallowed nervously. Good morning, Mr. Jungkook. I'm Kim Wan, working as a data scientist. Jungkook hummed in acknowledgement. Tell me the matter. You quickly explain your situation. I forgot my ID card in a hurry. I wasn't feeling well this morning, but I still came to the office with dedication. I understand rules are important, but I don't want my salary deducted because I need that money for charity. There was a pause, then without thinking Jungkook said, Miss Ria, don't deduct her salary. Ria's jaw dropped. Sir? I said don't deduct it. Jungkook repeated. You blinked in surprise before quickly bowing. Thank you so much, Mr. Jungkook. You were about to leave, but your curiosity got the better of you. Mr. Jungkook, can I see you just once? A heavy silence filled the earth. Then, Miss Ria, deduct her 1 month's salary. Jungkook said coldly. Your eyes widened. No, no, no. I'm sorry. I'm leaving right now. Before he could say another word, you spun on your heels and ran out of his office, nearly tripping over your feet. Ria followed you, shaking her head in disbelief as she closed the door behind her. Inside the office, Jungkook slowly turned his chair. He leaned forward, resting his elbows on the desk, and stared at his laptop. His fingers swiftly tapped your name. Within seconds, your employee information popped up on the screen. Kim whined. He murmured, a small, amused smile playing on his lips. This was the first time he had ever checked an employee's details. Leaning back in his chair, he smirked slightly. So, you are working in my office. He chuckled to himself. Little did you know you had just piqued the interest of the most dangerous man in the city. It was evening, and you got ready as Jia shared the location. You took a final look in the mirror, fixing your hair and adjusting your dress before heading out. Excitement bubbled in your chest as you made your way to the restaurant where your high school friends were waiting. It had been 2 years since you all last met. As you entered the restaurant, you spotted Jia waving at you enthusiastically. Man, over here, she called out. You smiled and walked towards the table where your three other friends, Mina, Sojin, and Hannah, were already seated. Hey everyone, it's been so long. You greeted them with a warm hug. Ryan, finally you're here. We thought you got lost or something. Mina teased you off. I was just making sure I look good for our reunion. Sojin smirked. Or maybe you are getting ready to impress someone. You roll your eyes playfully. No way, just excited to see you guys. The five of you sat down, reminiscing about your high school days. Remember how we used to sneak out during lunch breaks just to get street food? Daniel chuckled. And that one time Ryan got caught because she tripped while running. Gia added, making everyone burst into laughter. Hey, that was not my fault. The floor was uneven. You protested, laughing along. As the conversation flowed, you ordered food and drinks, including some alcohol, to celebrate the occasion. The food arrived, and the table was filled with laughter, teasing, and endless chatter. After some time, Gia suddenly turned to you with a mischievous glint in her eyes. When you were telling us about your CEO, right? You perked up, excitement evident in your tone. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Today I met my CEO, John Jungkook. Your friends leaned in, intrigued. Wait, John Jungkook, the CEO of John Group of Industries, the same guy who never appears in public? Mina asked. You nodded eagerly. Yes, he's a mystery to everyone, even to us employees, but today I finally got to meet him. You started narrating everything that happened in the office, completely unaware that Jungkook himself was sitting just a few feet away in the next row listening to your every word. You're so lucky one, Daniel sighed. I wish I could meet him too. Gia grinned. But wait, when did you actually see his face? He pouted. No, he was seated in his chair the whole time. I only heard his voice, but it would have been nice if I saw him at least once. Who knows, maybe one day he will propose to you. Surgeon teased. Just then you choked on your drink, coughing as you hurriedly grabbed a glass of water. Unbeknownst to you, Jungkook, who was secretly listening also, almost choked on his drink. He had not expected to hear such words from your friends. Don't say such things, you scolded. Why would he propose to me? I'm just a normal employee. Don't dream like it's a K-drama. Just Mark. Besides, Vine already has a crush on someone, so why would she care about her CEO? You blushed slightly, Gia. Don't say like that. Jungkook, who had been listening silently, suddenly felt a pang of jealousy. His jaw clenched at the mention of your crush. Since when do you like someone else, and why did that bother him so much? The night continued, and after a few more drinks, one of your friends suggested play a dare game. The bottle spun and landed on your first. Wine made you to call your crush and call him baby. You shook your head instantly. No way, he already has a girlfriend. Your friends sighed, feeling bad for you. They knew how much you had liked that person for years, but never had courage to confess. Even Jungkook, who was still eavesdropping, felt something. It's okay, Wine, Chia sighed softly. We didn't know. I'm sorry, he forced a smile. It's fine, I have moved on. Mina pouted. Still, you should at least say baby once in your life. Come on, Wine, just do it for fun. After much hesitation, you finally gave in. Fine, but just this once. You drunkenly picked up your phone and dialed the number, unaware that in your intoxicated state you had accidentally called Jungkook instead of your actual crush. On the other side, Jungkook's phone rang. He looked at the screen and was surprised to see your name. Curious, he answered the call but remained silent. Baby, he whispered lovingly into the phone. Jungkook's eyes widened and a shiver ran down his spine. Your voice filled with affection sent goosebumps over his skin. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. I think you're happy with someone, but I'm not happy here. I wish I said I love you earlier. Maybe then you would have accepted me. Anyways, all the best for your life with your new partner. You sighed and ended the call. Jungkook sat there in shock before a small smirk formed on his lips. Thank you for beginning our story, Wine. As the night went on, your friends left with their boyfriend. And even Gia said her goodbyes, but you decided to stay a little longer. The alcohol made you drowsy, and soon you rested your head on the table. Falling asleep, Jungkook saw this and immediately took action. He spoke to the restaurant owner, ensuring that all other customers left, leaving just the two of you inside. Slowly he approached you and sat across from you, leaning his chest against the back of the chair. He exhaled softly, causing a few strands of your hair to move, revealing your peaceful, sleeping face. His dark eyes softened as he studied you, a rare, genuine smile played on his lips. Ryan, thanks for calling me baby, but I really want to be your baby. I hope you will be. He leaned in slightly, his heart beating faster, as he gently placed a small peck on your cheek. You looked like a little kid sleeping after throwing tantrums. He chuckled softly. He sat there watching over you, his mind already making plans. He had fallen for you, and there was no going back now. Just then your phone buzzed on the table, showing an incoming call from Gia. Jungkook picked it up before it woke you. Hello, he answered in a deep voice. Huh? Who's this? Where is Wan? Gia asked, confused. Jungkook smirked, his eyes still on your sleeping figure. She's safe with me. I will take care of her. Gia gasped. Wait, who are you? But Jungkook had already ended the call, his smirk widening. Sweet dreams, mine. When you wake up, a new chapter of your life will begin with me. It was the next morning and you were rolling on the bed holding your aching head. You groaned, your voice raspy from the effects of last night's drinking. Mom, can you please bring me coffee? You mumbled, still half asleep. But instead of your mother's voice, I heard a deep and unfamiliar voice. Here is your coffee, baby. Your eyes flew open as you froze at the edge of the bed, your head hanging down. Slowly you turned to see who the intruder was. It was none other than Jungkook. You don't know it's the CEO Jungkook cause he never revealed his face, so Jungkook is a complete stranger now. You gasped and quickly sat up, pulling the blanket around yourself. Who are you? He smirked, tilting his head slightly. I'm Cookie, baby. Cookie? Baby? You repeated in disbelief. Who are you to call me baby? He leaned against the wall casually. After the night you called me and said, baby, you confessed your love to me, so I landed here. Your heart dropped, your hands scrambled for your phone, and when you checked the call log, your worst nightmare came true. It wasn't your crush's number that you had called last night, it was Jungkook's. Oh no, I called the wrong number, you whispered, your face heating up in embarrassment. Jungkook grinned at your reaction. What are you thinking, baby? Yeah, stop calling me that, you snapped. First of all, how did you get into my room? Who gave you permission? Mom, where are you? Jungkook leaned forward with a smirk. No one is at home, that's why I came here. Your eyes widened in horror, so you're stalking me now? Hey Chuckle, no, I'm loving you. You blinked. Loving me? Stop joking. How can you love someone after a single phone call? His smile faded as he gazed at you seriously. The air around you suddenly felt heavier and you involuntarily gulped. He took a step closer and you instinctively stepped back, another step and you backed away again. Jungkook stood right in front of you, his presence overwhelming. His voice was slow but firm. One single phone call is enough to fall in love with you. You stared into his dark brown eyes, and for the first time, you saw something different. It wasn't just amusement or playfulness, there was sincerity, a dangerous kind of sincerity. Jungkook stepped back, giving you space. He reached out, tugging a loose strand of your hair behind your ear. Be ready to experience my love, Van. Then, before you could react, he leaned forward and pressed a soft kiss on your forehead. Your breath hissed as a shiver ran down your spine. With a satisfied smile, Jungkook turned around and walked towards the door. He glanced back one last time. See you soon, baby. And just like that, he was gone, leaving you standing there, heart pounding, mind reeling. To be honest, Jungkook was too handsome to ignore, but you had always believed that love should happen naturally, not like this, not in one night. And for some reason, his words lingered in your mind, and so did the warmth of his touch. Since that day, Jungkook had been constantly on your mind. He was persistent, sending you messages filled with heart emojis, sweet letters, flowers, and chocolates. Every little thing he did expressed how much he loved you. But you were not ready. You were still trying to move on from your longtime crush and jumping into someone. One day, while heading to your office, you stepped into the elevator, pressing the button for the 20th floor. The doors were about to close when the lift suddenly stopped on the 10th floor. The door slid open. Hi, baby, he greeted casually, stepping inside, a frown crossing your arms. What are you doing here? Jungkook leaned against the wall, looking amused. I'm working here, you scoffed. Really? I have never seen you here before. In which department you are working? All of them, he replied smoothly. You narrowed your eyes. Don't tell me you are the CEO. Yes, he said, a mischievous glint in his eyes. He stared at him for a second before bursting into laughter. Nice joke. Try harder next time. Just then, the elevator stopped at the 16th floor. The doors opened, and Ria, your colleague, stepped in. The moment she saw Jungkook, her eyes widened in shock. She was about to say something, but Jungkook subtly shook his head, gesturing her to stay silent. Ria hesitated but then acted normal, stepping inside. Curious, you turned to her. Miss Ria, do you know him? Ria stole a quick glance at Jungkook, who once again gestured for her to play along. She then looked at you and burst a laugh. Do you think he could be our CEO? You chuckle. Exactly, that's what I was saying. There is no way. Jungkook leaned closer, whispering, do you really think the CEO wouldn't show interest in you? He raised an eyebrow, smirking. Why not? I'm a beautiful girl. Anyone would be interested in me. Jungkook smiled, shaking his head. That's what I'm saying. I'm interested in you, but you're not accepting me. You looked at him, feeling a strange warmth in your chest, but you quickly shook the thought away before you could respond. The elevator reached the 20th floor. Without saying a word, you stepped out, leaving Jungkook staring after you. As soon as he left, Jungkook turned to Rhea. Don't tell anyone, I'm the CEO, okay? She nodded quickly, and together they continued up to the top floor. Meanwhile, you walk to your desk, your mind swirling with your thoughts. Why was Jungkook so insistent? Was he really serious about you? And most importantly, why did your heart race every time he was near you? You sighed, shaking your head. You needed to focus on work, but you knew deep down that Jungkook wasn't going to make it easy for you. It had been a whole month since Jungkook last called or messaged you. At first, you thought it didn't matter, but as days passed, you found yourself thinking about him more and more. His absence made you restless. You kept checking your phone, hoping to see his name pop up, but there was nothing. You hated to admit it, but you missed him. The way he used to tease you, his silly messages filled with heart emojis, the flowers, the chocolates, the small notes expressing his love, everything. It was strange how someone who suddenly entered your life could leave such a deep one evening, while you were working at your desk, your phone vibrated. Your heart raced as you immediately grabbed it. It was a message from Jungkook. Meet me at this destination. If you don't come, I'll never meet you again. Your eyes widened as you read the message again and again. He hadn't spoken to you in a month, and now this. Why was he suddenly giving you an ultimatum? You hesitated for a moment before replying to him. You okay? After sending the message, you leaned back in your chair, exhaling deeply. You weren't sure why you agreed so quickly, but something inside you told that you need to see her. A few minutes later, a courier arrived at your house, confused. You signed for the package and opened it. Inside was a beautiful frock. Your fingers ran over the soft fabric as you noticed. Wear this for me, Cookie. Jungkook for audience reference. Your cheeks warmed. Why didn't he always have this effect on you? You debated for a moment before finally deciding to wear the dress. After getting ready, you stood in front of the mirror. The dress fit you perfectly, hugging your curves in all the right places. You had to admit Jungkook had good taste. You grabbed your bag and left for the destination he had sent. The whole way there, your heart pounded. Would he be angry? Would he be sad? Or would he just smirk and tease you as usual? When you arrived, you stepped out of the car and looked around. It was a quiet, beautifully lit rooftop restaurant. The view of city was breathtaking with lights twinkling. You went inside the restaurant and the receptionist guided you to the room which was in top floor. She left you there and left the rear knocked the door and it opened automatically. You stood frozen at the doorway, your heart pounding in your chest. The room was dimly lit, but the glow from a single spotlight illuminated a massive painting on the wall, and it was you. Your breath hissed. What is this? You asked. Your voice fell above a whisper. Jungkook stood in front of the painting, his hands in his pockets, his eyes filled with emotions you couldn't decipher. He turned to face you, his expression soft. My 1 month love. You blinked confused. What? I took slow steps towards you. For 1 month I tried to forget you, Vine. I told myself I should stop chasing you, but the more I tried, the more my love for you grew. So instead of trying to forget, I embraced it, and this painting, your throat felt dry, your heart ached. Why do you love me so much? You whispered. Jungkook chuckled softly, his eyes never leaving yours. I don't know. It started with one call. Your brows furrowed. From the restaurant, he shook his head. No, 2 years ago. Your eyes widened. 2 years? Jungkook smiled. Yes, 2 years ago, I received a call from a girl. She was asking for help for a charity. An orphanage building was about to be demolished, and she was calling every businessman she could reach, pleading for donations. You gasped. You remembered that moment. You had been desperate, calling from a public telephone booth because your phone was out of balance. You had spoken to countless people, but no one seemed interested. You never knew that one of those calls had reached him. Jungkook continued, "At first I fell in love with her voice. It was so full of determination and kindness. Then I fell in love with her heart because she wasn't asking for herself. She was asking for those children. And then I fell in love with her innocence when I met her for the first time in my office." You placed a hand over your chest, feeling your heartbeat racing as you realized he was your CEO and a famous mafia leader, Jungkook, and then you was barely able to breathe. Jungkook took a step closer. "Then I fell in love with her beauty. After going through her data, I realized that the girl I had been searching for was right in front of me all along." Tears welled up in your eyes. "You're saying that that girl was me?" Jungkook nodded. "Yes, fine. It was you all along." You let out a shaky breath, tears slipping down your cheeks. "So you're really my CEO, John Jungkook?" He smiled. "Yes." A mix of emotions flooded through you: shock, happiness, disbelief, love. You smiled through your tears. "I can't believe this." Jungkook wiped your tears gently with his thumb. "You should have called me with your personal number, man. We would have met 2 years ago, but you called me from a telephone booth. I tried to trace you, but I couldn't." You let out a small laugh. "I never thought that one random call could change my life like this." Jungkook cubed your face. "It wasn't random for me, it was fate." Your lips trembled. "Jungkook, it's true, Wine," he whispered. "You're the only one I love. I can never love anyone else." Your heart swelled with emotions. You had spent the last month missing him, thinking about him, denying your feelings, but now standing here in front of him, seeing the sincerity in his eyes, feeling the warmth of his hands on your skin, you knew the truth. You loved him too. Jungkook, you were crying, not knowing whether to be happy for finding such a great love or to be sad for hurting him all these days. "I'm sorry, I really didn't know," you whispered, your voice shaky with emotions. "But Jungkook, I don't think I can accept you. I was ready to try this relationship before coming here, but now you're rich, you're standing in the sky, and I'm not at your level." Jungkook sighed deeply and kept your face gently in his warm hands. His eyes were filled with sincerity as he spoke. "One, you have a pure heart, and a pure heart always stays above the sky. I love you, not your status. Don't ever see that you're not at my level, because in my eyes, you're the most precious person." Your heart pounded his words. His love felt so pure, so real. But you were still overwhelmed by everything. Before he could say anything, Jungkook leaned in and kissed you deeply. His lips were warm, soft, and full of emotions. It wasn't just a kiss, it was an unspoken promise. You felt yourself melting into the moment, your hands gripping onto his shirt as if you didn't want to let go. When he finally pulled away, his breath was slightly uneven, his forehead rested against yours as he asked, "Now tell me, don't you love me?" You remained silent, your mind and heart still in conflict. You did love him, you missed him, but saying it felt so difficult. Jungkook exhaled, his expression shifting into disappointment. He turned his back to you, running a hand through his hair as he tried to control his emotions. Seeing him like that, your heart ached. You stepped forward, wrapping your arms around his waist from behind. "I miss you, Jungkook," you whispered against his back, your voice trembling. Jungkook froze for a moment, his body stiff. Then slowly he turned around, looking at you with glistening eyes. A small smile formed on his lips. "So you love me?" he asked softly, as if he was afraid to hope. You nodded shyly, looking down. "I do. I just need time to realize it." Hearing those words, Jungkook smiled through his own unshed tears. He lifted your chin gently, making you look into his eyes. "You have no idea how happy you had made me, Wine." He leaned in and placed a soft kiss on your forehead, lingering there as he held you close. "Come with me," he suddenly said, taking your hand. "Where?" you asked, confused. "For dinner, a small celebration for our new beginning." His eyes twinkled with excitement. You hesitated, but his warm grip reassured you. Okay, you whispered, allowing him to lead you out of the room. Jungkook had arranged a private dinner at the hotel's rooftop restaurant. The night sky was filled with twinkling stars, and an entire place was decorated beautifully with fairy lights and fresh flowers. A soft melody played in the background, making the atmosphere even more magical. You gasped, looking around in awe. Jungkook, this is beautiful. He pulled out a chair for you, smiling, only the best for my love. Your cheeks heated up at his words, but you sat down watching as he took his seat across from you. You were having fun as he was feeding you, looked at him and said softly, thank you, Jungkook. For what? He asked, tilting his head. For loving me, for being patient with me, for making me feel special. Jungkook reached across the table, taking your hand in his. Loving you is the easiest thing I have ever done. Mine, and I will keep doing it every single day. You squeezed his hand. Jungkook chuckled. No need to try, just be with me, and that's more than enough. Thank you for watching. If you like the story, please subscribe.